Okay, well, we've had a little discussion about this, and we finally arrived very nicely at a conclusion. First place, you can't say that this is 6 times as much as this, so this has, so what you, the amount of paint has to be 6 times as much as this. If it was y proportional to x, you could, turns out, but you can't, okay? And it also turns out that you can say, well, it's proportional to the square, and so let's see, this is 6 times this. If you square 6, you get 36, so you need 36 times as much paint. That'd be 108 quarts. That would be right, but that's not quite put into this proportionality, but eventually when you master the idea of proportionality, you can do that, okay? And one thing we want to prove is that you can, okay? So before we do that, we want to be able to put everything in terms of this statement. All this information corresponding to this statement. So we ask, what is proportional to what? Okay? And I'm getting answers like, well, 5 centimeters is proportional to 3 quarts or whatever, okay? Not bad. Not bad. But 5 centimeters and 3 quarts is just specific to this one statue, right? You might have other statues that have different numbers. Or we might use a different kind of paint and those numbers would change, okay? So we want to do it in terms of the names of things. So we managed to get around to the names of things. Okay, saying things like nose. Nose is name. Okay, good start, because that is the name of one of the things. Now, more specifically, you would want to say the length of the nose, but saying nose is okay. Okay? Now, what is proportional to nose? Paint proportional to nose. Almost, but you're missing this square of, right? So we can pull out of this, and I'm being facetious about this, but this is a tough reasoning process when you haven't seen it before. So I'm kidding you a little bit, but it was a very good reasoning process, okay? So paint proportional square of nose, right? Of course you can't square a nose. It's really uncomfortable. You read that thing about wombats, what they square. I can't mention it in polite class. Okay? Anybody seen that? Yeah, you really gotta, you guys gotta pay attention. It's pretty funny. Okay. Unless you're just totally offended by minimal perversity, you would want to see it. Okay. Okay, so it's a little more than just paint proportional to square of nose, right? It's the amount of paint. Okay? Not the verb paint. The amount of paint, right? Okay? And it's proportional to the square of the length of the nose, right? Well, now we can identify what to use for X and what to use for Y. What is X? Well, Y is proportional to X squared, right? And amount of paint is proportional to the square of nose length. Therefore, so Y is the amount of paint, X is the nose length, right? Okay, so now we can say that for this y and this x, y equals kx squared for some k, right? Find k. I don't mean, there it is. Okay, what's the value of k? How are you going to find the value of k?